It's time for Transport Line, the program that showcases the contributions of all modes of transportation to the socio-economic growth and development of our country, Africa, and the rest of the world. Transport Line is being beamed to you from the Center of Excellence, the state of aquatic splendor, and Africa's second largest economy, Lagos. I am Shina Elegbede, and thanks for being part of the program. Extortion on our roads is commonplace, despite all efforts by the local, state, and federal governments to nip this in the bud. In fact, the issue is continuing to rear its ugly head like a decimal point. Today, getting the Nigerian ports or exiting Nigerian ports is an Herculean task, a big hassle for the truckers. This is more prominent at the two major ports in Nigeria, Apapa and Tinkan Island ports. At the forefront of those who have cried foul for this practice is a group known as the Council for Maritime Transport Unions and Association, COMTUA. COMTUA, through its leadership, Mr. Adeyinka Aroyewu, held a press conference, issued a press statement, and at the same time appealed to federal, state, and local governments and the Inspector General of Police to assist in stopping what they call the electronic call-up system being run by the Trucks Transit Park Limited and Nigerian Ports Authority. So what is this all about as regards electronic call-up system at the Apapa and Tinkan Island ports? I have with me in the studio Adeyinka Aroyewu, who is the president of the Council of Maritime Transport Unions and Association, to more or less throw light on this issue and tell us why the modus operandi is not really assisting its union and association. You're welcome to the program, Adeyinka.
Thank you for having me once again.
Adeyinka, what is this electronic call-up system all about? In fact, what is the genesis?
Yes, thank you very much. Nobody is against the proper and arrangement of trucks into the port, whether electronically or manually. So we are not averse to any form of electronic call-up system. What we are against is the double taxation involved, the fraudulent practices involved, the priority attached to some trucks, sending us out of business, and deliberately sabotaging the efforts of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. One, if you are moving export cargo into the ports, it takes days and weeks before the cargo gets into the port.
How do we get into this? How do we get into this electronic call-up system?
Yes, before now, some 10, 20 years ago, there's no problem with the ports. You get your terminal delivery order through your agent and you move your truck straight to the port. Of course, naturally, we experience mild traffic due to operational issues, but all this ended immediately. The ports were concessioned to private companies. Before 20...
That's the terminal operators.
Yes, before 2023, it used to be Nigerian Ports Authority running all the terminals. At that time, a lot of issues. Now, the country has moved from this public thing into privatization. And all these terminals have been concessioned to private terminal operators.
Yes,
In Apapa, we have ENL, we have EcoSupport, we have Epimola. In Tinkan, we have TICT, which is Tinkan Island Container Terminal. We have PTML, which is Grimaldi. We have Ports and Cargo. We have China Shipping. And everything is running properly. These terminals, we issue their terminal delivery order to clearing agents who have paid duty, shipping, and terminal charges, even MPA charges, as the case may be. And it is handed over to trucker, we move into the ports. Sometimes in 2015, the road leading to these ports failed, and there was a major construction work. It was a major concrete work on the road, a tripartite arrangement between the federal government, the Nigerian Ports Authority, and some private companies. So during this period, the road was closed specifically from Area B to the port gate on Apapa axis, and from Tinkan to Sunrise on the Tinkan axis. It is expected that there will be traffic buildup, and it extends to so many parts of the states. To alleviate the suffering of transporters or other road users, there was a committee of the federal government headed by the then Vice President himself, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, and co-chaired by a former transport commissioner in the state, Honorable Kayode Opefa, and the Commissioner of Police for the state, CP Hakeem Odumosu, and the rest of them were in charge of this presidential task force. Of course, it was expected there would be bottleneck, and the traffic was really slowed down. It affected the entire state. After the completion of the road, it was natural that the traffic disappeared. So, but because of this congestion at that time that there was road construction, the Nigerian Ports Authority suggested a call-up system. Even during this presidential tax team, we were using the manual call-up system. The manual call-up system is such that you will officially write a letter to the Nigerian Ports Authority as a clearing agent or an importer or a transporter that the following trucks are coming to the terminal to load the following cargoes. When the terminal operator clears the cargo, that this cargo can move out now, it has been cleared, the NPA will generate a manifest, and the list of the vehicles will be coming into the port. That was manual. Now we thought it was something they are trying to improve on by saying they want to go electronics. If it's going to be electronic, we probably send mail to shipping company and forward it to Nigerian Ports Authority seamlessly, and we get a manifest just as we are getting now, and even then. But suddenly, the Nigerian Ports Authority went into an agreement with a private company, which is Truck Transit Park Limited, leaving out the traffic department of the Nigerian Ports Authority that before then was handling this call-up thing. Now, this private company promised heaven and earth, it's going to be electronic. You are just going to log into our app. You will do it from your office, and in 24 hours, you will get in and out of the port. Okay? They were suggesting it's going to cost transporters or truckers 10,000 naira. What is this 10,000 naira for? They said, okay, you move from your own garage to a satellite park, and this satellite park will be paid 3,000 naira. From the satellite park, you'll be called into a brigade garage, which will also cost another 3,000 naira, and probably 4,000 naira for their expertise in conjunction with the Nigerian Ports Authority. But for crying out loud, this is additional cost. It's additional burden on the cost of transportation. They said everybody coming into the port, we have to go through this. And for clarity purpose, it is not only container carrier truck that goes into the ports. Even wet cargoes, which is the tanker operators, the Petroleum Tanker Drivers Association, PTD, and NUPENG, they also go to the port. But because they insisted that they cannot pay this 10,000 naira, as it will result into an additional cost, which may lead to an increment in the pump price, and that for any increment in pump price, PPRA must be involved. So they excluded them from the process. The tankers are going in and out of the port without paying a dime. We were forced into paying 10,000 naira. One, the first area of concern is this. We are private operators. NPA is contracting you to do their legitimate duties. Then why should we be the one to pay you for it? Why do I have to pay to a satellite park when I already have my own garage? It means in addition to the rent I'm paying on my garage, I must be paying somebody else's garage for use. As if this was not enough, suddenly, these garages were no longer in operation officially, but you have to pay them. Even if you are not going there, you still have to pay them. Then they also introduced what they call virtual parks. They have no facility. You will not go into them. You will remain in your garage, but you will still pay the same price as using a garage with a facility. We became so worried to the extent that we started to wonder what kind of arrangement is this? This is double taxation. Suddenly, the prices began to increase from 10,000 naira to 25,000 naira, at a state to 30,000 naira, now to 25,000 naira. They say you have to match your container. What is NPA's business with cargo? Immediately there was concession. NPA had no business with cargo handling. The only thing that the Nigerian Port Authority does inside that port now is the security work and a minor traffic regulation job, except what they do to vessels,
Bathing
and So it's 4 years of the process. Over 200 billion naira has been squandered by this group. Because in addition to the 25,000 naira, and they claim to have done about 3 million trips, which is about 75 billion naira, you will still pay from one point to the other for checkpoints on the road.
Mounted by who?
Mounted by Nigerian police, by LASMA, by NPA, and other non-state actors. To worsen the situation, while we are in the brigade terminals, while we are in the brigade garages, for 2 weeks, you have other vehicles running on daily basis, painted in military colors, driven by Nigerian military personnel. We wrote to the Nigerian Defense Headquarters, and they invited us. They told us all those trucks that you see painted in military color and driven by military personnel are not owned by the Nigerian Army. That they have no business with private business. Because all these trucks, they do export, they do empty conveyance, they do all business that we do. And because they have the advantage of moving in and out in a higher frequency than us, they have taken over the entire job. Our members are gradually out of business. Now what we are telling Nigerian Port Authority is, why can't you do your statutory duties? That is the traffic department doing what they ought to do. We don't want to pay this money to any private company. You don't have to contract a private company to do an official job that you have been paid for. This cargo we are going in to load has paid for shipping, has paid for terminal, has paid for NPA handling charges. Why are we paying TTP? So we decided in our group, we are no longer interested in this Truck Transit Park Limited arrangement. We will officially communicate to the Nigerian Port Authority when our trucks are coming into the port. Since we have paid all requisite fees and we are not going to block the road. We have written to the state government, we have written to LASMA, we have written to police, we have even communicated with the Nigerian Port Authority. And our plan is, each terminal that we intend to go, we will write to the port manager of that area and notify them, listing our vehicles and getting approval to move into the port. There was a time, sometimes in 2021, TTP, without any barrier or any form of infrastructure in the Kirikiri axis, they mounted a point there where before trucks go into terminals in Kirikiri, they have to pay them. At a meeting with the MD of the NPA, we raised this issue, and the MD said TTP does not have any rights in Kirikiri. But we said they have been collecting this money. The managing director of TTP denied this until we presented the account for which we have been paying, and they investigated it to find out that it belongs to Truck Transit Park Limited. Stealing over 2 billion naira from innocent truckers. What it means is that as much as the federal government is doing everything humanly possible to bring down the prices of commodities, this TTP and their conspirators in the Nigerian Ports Authority are not helping matters, because every cost we incur, any time we spend, we will translate it or transmit it to the final consumer. This is pure sabotage. Just recently, the Nigerian Custom Services complained that the export cargoes are suffering as a result of this TTP. It is public knowledge. It's on the news.
Now,
And NPA is insisting, because of this revenue generation, that everybody must go through this TTP.
as a trucker of a global standard, what is subsisting now at Apapa and Tinkan Island ports? Is it of global practice?
It is not. It is happening only in Apapa and Tinkan in the whole world. It is not happening in Nome. It is not happening in Port Harcourt. It is not happening in Warri. It is not happening in Lekki. It is not happening in Togo. It is not happening in Lome. It is only in Apapa and Tinkan.
Now, you've alleged deep-seated corruption, fraud going on. I could recall that I read in the media you've invited the EFCC to look into this. Is it only your council members, that is, Council of Maritime Transport Unions and Associations, that are involved, that are being, quote and unquote, allegedly being swindled?
Well, just as I told you, the tanker operators that goes into the port, they don't pass through this process of color, so they don't have any reason to complain. A few days ago, Nigerian Association of Road Transport Owners, NATO, complained about the same thing, that they
Have they been victims?
of course, everybody is a victim except for people that are on the payroll or on the advantage of TTP. Just as I told you, some trucks are painted in military color, some trucks are branded in priority trucks that moves in and out of the port on daily basis as against what we experience. This category of people will always come out and say everything is fine. If it is fine, you can continue with it, and we are complaining we don't like it. If there is no law saying it is a must that we go through this process, why should we be? What we want to know is, what is there an act or is it a law saying that before I come to the port, I must pay TTP? These are issues that is seriously giving us concern, and we have been asking questions about this.
Adeyinka, asking questions. MPA is supposed to be the technical regulator
Of the
at
port.
of the port,
Yes, please.
while Nigerian Shippers Council is the economic regulator.
Yes.
Have you complained to the Nigerian Shippers Council?
Of course, we complain to Nigeria Shippers Council. Nigeria Shippers Council often claim that they didn't regulate such. That it is just an agreement between the Nigerian Ports Authority and TTP. And the strength is that their position is that it is based on the demand of the truckers, which is not true. Which is not true. At this instance, I challenge the Nigeria Shippers Council, the Nigerian Ports Authority, to come out and let us open our books. It's not a difficult thing. I have alleged fraud here. These are weighty allegations. We are talking of over 200 billion naira of the Nigerian money here, and the Nigerian Shippers Council cannot be silent. This is criminal silence. The Nigerian Port Authority should also come out. Let us open our books. I challenge them to open debate here.
The way things are now, what is your final prayer? What is going to be the impact of all these electronic call-up system, the way it's being handled and run now? What impact will it have on the Nigerian economy?
That is if we opt out of it, or what does it, or what's your question like?
No, it's not a question of opting out of it. The way it's being run now, the modality, you've complained that there is deep-seated corruption involved. If things are not changed, if these things continue that way, and indirectly you are being forced to give out the money which you did not willingly give out, who is going to bear the brunt?
Beyond that, let us look at it from this angle. It can lead to a serious crisis, because we are no longer willing to give, and if they insist they have to collect, which means something serious is likely going to happen. That is one. Secondly, we are saying that the system is not even working. The congestion has not eased. Traffic is still trucks are always queued up on Apapa. So was the point deceiving everybody? In addition to this, every cost incurred goes to the prices of the unit prices of this commodity, and it's affecting the entire nation. Apart from this, looking at the area of the exports, it is not only in Nigeria that we are exporting commodities. In Ghana, they have cocoa just as we do. They have charcoal. They have everything. If their export cargoes gets to destination earlier than us, it is a loss of revenue to Nigeria. In addition to this, it is a serious embarrassment to the nation that of all the, at this day and age, with the level of development in the whole world, we are still experiencing this in Nigerian ports. Don't forget, there's Africa Free Continental Trade Agreement.
Yeah, after.
And it means that I don't have to pay anything extra even if I bring my cargo from Togo.
Yeah.
If I bring my cargo from
Ghana.
Ghana. So what is the position of Nigeria in this? If we do not check all these things, our ports are not going to be competitive. But we became worried. Why is the Nigerian Port Authority interested in enriching a few individuals at the detriment of the entire nation? And that is our position. Okay. And since we are not going to participate in the call-up system any longer.
Alan, you've also gone to court.
Of course, what we approach the court for is for the court to determine if we have the right, in addition to all payments we have made, expose ourselves to this TTP collection. Okay.
Adeyinka Aroyewu, President, Council of Maritime Transport Unions and Associations. We thank you for coming on board to elucidate on the issue of electronic call-up system presently being run for movement of cargoes in and out of Apapa and Tinkan Island ports. We will try to get to Nigerian Ports Authority, even the Shippers Council. If they respond, we hear their own side of the story. But we shall continue to monitor events. We thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Well, we want to draw the curtain, but please continue to be your brother's keeper. Irrespective of the National Bureau of Statistics analysis and figures being drilled out, I tell you, there is still hunger in the land. So, how do we mitigate it? We can mitigate it by being a brother's keeper, by being compassionate. Compassion is the key word. Please do that. Till next time, bye-bye for now.